Good morning, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rachel and I'm out here on this little lovely loop-de-doo trail by my house with my puppers, Aspen. And so I'm out here just getting a little bit of time on feet. It's not really a training run for me today. I also have some pretty gnarly blisters that I'm just kind of like trying to let heal before my next big run this weekend. So I figured Aspen would appreciate some outside times. And I just thought it would be a good time to have a little chat with you, check in about my training. This week has been pretty mentally tough for me. I did a run from Manitou to the summit, and I just had a really tough day out there. Ever since then, I've been trying to kind of dig myself out of this hole that I've fallen into in my mental space. So I thought this would be a really important topic because I believe all runners go through it at least once. You know, some can be mentally stronger and maybe they touched it and they didn't really stay there. And I'm trying really hard to come out of it and not to stay in this hole. It can be tough. The topic of today's video is how not to compare yourself to other runners, to your friends, to your training partners. Strava is a great little app to track all your training and to encourage your friends in their training. But something that is not good about Strava is you kind of look at people's training and just kind of feel a little inadequate because you're comparing yourself. So yeah, I just wanted to send a reminder out into the world that when you sign up for races and your group of friends do the same race, so you're all training together, I think it's super important to remind yourself that you all enter the training block in different areas, so your training is going to look different. A little insight to my struggle run up to the peak. I was trying to just be out there getting time on feet. I asked everyone that I was going with, like, what's your goal for the day? Are you just out here time on feet? Are you pushing it? Like, what are you trying to do? Because I want to set myself expectations for what I'm there to do. And if we're not trying to do the same thing, then I know. We all kind of went into the run saying we wanted to do like an easier, not run up the peak style run. I kept up with my friends up until about the trailhead, and then we kind of started power hiking. At a power hike, I was not able to like keep up with my friends. And you know, they say run with people who are faster than you and you'll get faster. And like, yeah, on some level for sure. But also, that means you might get left behind. And there's nothing wrong with that if they have different training goals. But when that's not what you were mentally preparing for, I'm like doing this run, pushing myself because I didn't want to get too left behind. And then I got left behind anyways. So it mentally was really tough for me. There's a few other things a part of the run that I feel like I should have done better at. But overall, I wasn't that happy with it. I made it to the top. And really, I wasn't that much slower than my ascent times, which tells me I was pushing myself on a run I wasn't really trying to push myself. So I just wanted to kind of share with you guys the struggles I've been going through the last week and trying to just remind myself that I'm my own person with my own training block, with my own plan. And that's what I need to focus on. Sometimes you feel like you're alone in these tough moments, but you're not. I also asked a few of my friends what's a tip or trick they have to pull themselves out. So I'm going to share with you some of the things my friends said. So my first tip that I got is to have a support person that you can go to in these times of your training and just express them. Like, sometimes part of the battle is you just need to express it and then be reminded that you are strong still, even if you don't feel as strong as your friend. So whether your support person comes from your partner or even just a close friend, or maybe someone who's not involved in the running at all. That way they have that outside perspective and can just talk you off the cliff. You know, running with a group is a lot of fun, but it's tough when everyone's sharing their tips and tricks for training, and then so you're all kind of trying to do similar things, and then, you know, one does one thing better than the other, you do something better than the other. You know, like, we all have our strengths. When you're kind of in this environment and you're in this bubble of just all the training tips, what you should be doing, what you're not doing, it can be a lot. If you find yourself feeling like that, Find yourself a support person. A coach is a really great person to lean on if that's something that you're able to do, because a coach will give that perspective of your training and the full picture. Because I think another thing that can kind of be an issue is we're so focused on like what we're doing right now, and that we kind of forget the big picture. So it's like, oh, well, today I only did 6 miles, but my training friends, they ran 12 miles. Well, am I inadequate because I only did 6? But then you have to remember, everyone has different things going on in their life. So while you're saving your longer miles for the weekend, they might not have that opportunity, so they're doing it now. So it's really important to just have someone to lean on, someone who can give you a full picture perspective of your training. Tip number 2, my friend says comparison is the thief of achievement. If you spend so much time looking ahead at the people who might be at a different place in their training or fitness, it can be difficult to see your own achievements as they come. You continue to get stronger, but so do the people you're comparing yourself to. So figuratively and literally, you'll never catch up. This is just such a great point, because it's so true that if you're constantly looking at what your friends are doing, you're gonna miss the little wins that you achieve. One thing I really love about running is I am my own competition. I am a recreational athlete through and through. I've never been the fastest person on the field. So when I line up to a race, I'm not there to win the race. When you run these different events, the best part is seeing how far you've come in your training. 3 years ago, my past self would have been like, she's running up a mountain, but like here I am doing something I probably would have never thought about just a few years ago. When you're comparing yourself to other people, you're taking away from what you've accomplished, and your accomplishments are what you should be focusing on. I thought that was super insightful and such a great point, because while you get fitter, your friends get fitter, and that's just the way it works. Tip number 3 is in regards to your training, and she says, I have to remind myself that everybody is different. As seemingly simple as that sounds, and what works for others may not work for me, and that's okay. Grace and patience in learning what works for you goes such a long way. I'm someone who does like to try things because I see my friends or training partners doing it, but if it doesn't speak to me or make me feel benefits, then it's okay to drop it. Trying to force yourself into things that you won't enjoy or don't see the benefits from can hurt you in the long term. At the end of the day, it's your mind and body on the trail, not your training partners. So you have to be honest with yourself and listen to yourself. I really love this because it really hit on such a great point where when you train with people who are also doing the same race, you want to try the different workouts that they're doing. And that's fine. You can try those workouts, but then you have to be honest with yourself. Did you enjoy it? Did you get benefit from it? Is it actually beneficial for what you're training for? Because you really want to remember the race that you're training for. You want to have specific workouts that train certain parts of this race. You sign up for these big challenges. The challenge is to be completed on race day, but you want to build your fitness so you can take on the challenge. It can be easy to freak yourself out because you're like, I don't know what it feels like going the whole way up to the peak, for example. My first year training for the ascent, I did not go the whole way up. I did touch every section of the trail through different training runs, but doing the whole thing isn't crucial to completing the race. It's great to try things that you see your friends doing, but coming back and being honest about the benefit is where you need to like ground yourself. What is best for you? What's going to benefit you on race day? And that's what your focus should be on. And tip number 4, a tip to not compare yourself and your result. We all have our own strengths, and it's incredibly easy to constantly compare yourself to that fast friend or the runner who can turn around and run more miles without rest. I have to remind myself it's okay to acknowledge those accomplishments, and doing so doesn't make my accomplishments any less impressive. I should be competing against myself anyways. Beating that PR or feeling stronger than I did on my last run, those are the wins worth celebrating. This is just so valuable because that is why I run, is to get stronger for myself. Leadville, I think, is a perfect example for this. My time at Leadville was the same. I maybe knocked off a couple of seconds from my overall time, but I felt so much stronger on the uphills. I was much more consistent on the overall race, and that is a win. Sometimes you just have those weeks where you're not feeling the best, and we're entering the peak training weeks before taper. The pressure, it's on, but it's on because of me. You know what I mean? I'm putting the pressure on because I've been looking at what my friends are doing. I'm like, oh my God. And then trying to circle back to what I know I need to do for my body. Another factor I have to remind myself is I had to take 10 days off because I sprained my ankle. So that alone has made me feel a little bit of a setback. That doesn't mean I don't still have time to get stronger, and that doesn't mean I won't be able to complete the race. It's just these little reminders that you have to tell yourself, especially during this season when training is getting hard and the miles are getting longer and you're feeling the pressure of the race getting closer. This week I really just needed these reminders, and I am lucky that I have such a great group of friends that I can lean on and I can vent these feelings to. We all feel the comparison game. We all go through those phases. That's why I wanted to make this YouTube video. It's great to train with people. It's great to find your running community, but it's also a great reminder to know where you are in your training in this moment, and that is what you focus on. And where can you go from here? And what are your baby steps? It doesn't matter what your friends are doing, even if you guys are training for the same race. And so I just wanted to share that with the channel, remind ourselves that you are still strong, even if you don't feel as strong as your friend. You are still fit and you are still capable, and there's work to be had. I have 3 more weeks of build and then it's taper. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. It's kind of a little bit of a different video. We're all human and we all have these feelings. And that's the thing, it's like training, it's gonna have its highs and its lows. Nothing goes perfect during your training block. You gotta just keep moving forward, one step at a time, one foot in front of the other, and you'll get to the end. The race is coming closer. I have some big efforts on the calendar, finishing out this build, see where we go on race day. If I were to do the race tomorrow, I would be fit enough to finish the marathon in the 10-hour cutoff. I'm not in a bad place because I think I can finish this race. Do I wanna do it quicker than 10 hours? Yes. 8 to 9 would be ideal for me, but we'll see. Time will tell. Comment below if you made it this far. I would really love to hear what you do to remind yourself not to compare yourself. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.